I took a lot of responsibility as a 20, 21, 22-year-old kid, because that's what I am at the end of the day. And people look to me in their darkest time for a solution, and somehow I found one when I didn't even know the answers myself.
Because it's how I live my life. Like, if I lost everything tomorrow, I'd probably still wake up and train. I've been through some of the hardest parts of my life, and I just trained.
What's your biggest fear? Is there little things that I would go back and change? Would I have not fucking invested that money when I was 14 into crypto? And like, do you know what I mean? Would I have not bought those NFTs that now are worth nothing? And like, yeah, of course. But
being a kid and being asked what I wanted to do when I was older, my reply would literally be, I want to be a millionaire, from like 5 years old. Like,
the word millionaire's got 2 L's in there for a reason. A couple L's. I think that's my biggest achievement. Damn.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a podcast which is in the top 1%.
It's a pretty impressive stat, man.
We're here, man.
We should round of applause to that. People, today, there's quite a few of you guys that haven't been here for a very long time. We are, as of today, at 950 subscribers. So we're 50
almost
away
a K,
from,
man.
Yeah, 50 away from our target of a K.
That is some grind.
Facts, bro. 70 weeks of grind, bro.
It's all right, bro. 10K will fly by.
Yeah, listen, we're here for the long game. We knew what we were getting ourselves into.
Well, it's like the opposite to the law of diminishing returns.
What do you mean? Elaborate for me.
The law of diminishing returns is like, so for instance, if you're trying to get a faster race time, running, you can only get so fast. Like the increments to how much faster you can get smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
But for building a YouTube channel, obviously, eventually, like that would happen to someone that's building a YouTube channel, because there gets less and less people in the world. But for us, like, we'd be able to reach more people, because let's say we've got 1,000 subscribers, we'd have 1,000 people potentially sharing the podcast rather than 100.
Yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm. One thing that gives me a lot of hope is I was watching a video 2 days ago. Do you remember that guy when we were doing dropshipping, the light-skinned dude that we were watching all of his tutorials?
Jordan Welch?
Yeah, actually, I think that is his name. On Eman's new platform that he's building, Educate, there's a dropshipping section, and he's teamed up with him to basically do the dropshipping.
Oh, crazy.
And there's a video of Jordan. I think it's got like the dreads.
Yeah, it's Jordan Welch.
Yeah. Him basically in Dubai with Eman. It was like, I spent 24 hours in Eman, and it's like he announced it to his subscribers and his followers that he's going to be on the Educate platform, and they partnered up, etc., etc. And he was like, I wanted to talk to you about your YouTube growth. And
who, Eman wanted to talk to him?
No. Jordan wanted to ask Eman. And basically, to cut a long story short, this time last year, Eman was at something like 350K, and now he's at 3.5 mil.
Yeah, crazy.
And then, so in a year, he went from 350 to 3.5K mil subscribers and then like, he also said though, yeah, well, you've seen this grow because we've strategically gone in there to grow, and that was like our mission to do that. But you can also go back 7 years, 8 years, and see me when I was broke and I was talking to a camera filled where there was 20, 30 people on the other end of it. And I was actually like, my boy completed life, bro, did everything that he wanted to do and achieve, like gave his mom the life that he always wished she could have, accomplished some amazing things in the business world. And then like the rest just came with it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like we'll be able to in 10 years look back and be like, do you remember when we sat down every week for an hour, bro?
Of course, bro. I said it to you the
other day. Set the cameras up and did all of that. And like we were getting like 50, 60 people click on a video. And now like we've got millions of people that tune in and like take value from what we say. Like,
I said it to you the other day, man. You have to love walking.
Yeah.
You have to love walking more than the man that loves the destination.
Yeah. I do love the destination as well. I don't even know what that motherfucker tastes like yet. I want to taste it. But yeah, anyway, I sidetracked.
You want to hit me first, or shall I hit you with a question?
Well, we don't know what's going on yet. People don't know.
Oh.
Me and H have put together some questions for each other, as there are quite a few of you guys that are new around here. We wanted to kind of touch base again and let you guys get to know us. So I actually have no idea what style of question you've gone for, and you don't have any idea what I've gone for either.
I know, pretty deep, to be fair.
I think mine are too. Uh-huh. But I don't want to, actually, I don't know. The way you've said that, I don't know if mine are going to be deep enough now.
Not like crazy deep, but like...
Okay, but to cut a long story short, me and H are going to ask each other questions that we don't know we don't know what's coming, basically. For you guys to get a little bit more of an idea as the type of individuals that you subscribe to, and to kind of give you a reason to follow us on our journey to greatness and be a part of it. So, yeah, man. Let's go.
Go on, brother. Do you want to kick us off?
I'd feel more comfortable if you did, to be honest. Okay. Purely because I don't know where we're at, so I kind of feel like you can set the bar.
Okay. What film or TV program had the biggest impact on your life?
Damn. Film or TV program?
There might have been some, it doesn't have, a piece of media is probably a better way to put it.
Okay, I kind of want to do one film and one TV program because I feel like they're both for two very different reasons.
By the way, when I thought of this question, I was like, what would I even say? I had no clue, but yeah.
I'm going to go with the first two that came into my head because they came into my head straight away. Don't ask me why, but they came into my head, so now I'm going to give it some reasoning. The first one, film, is going to be Wolf of Wall Street.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
Yeah. When he walks into that first office and he starts talking, the people are like, hey, John, something just came across my desk, and it's the best thing I've seen in about 3 months. If you give me 30 seconds, I'd love to tell you about it. And everyone's like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
Like, that shit for me, I was like, yeah, like, this motherfucker, like, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for the film, I would say that.
What's TV program?
TV program, I'm going to go with it because it's like I'm kind of in the middle of it now, and I love the whole dynamic of it, but I'm going to go with Suits.
I know
Yeah, the way that Harvey and Mike Ross operate and work, and like, obviously, it's a glorified TV show. Do you know what I mean? You only see the kind of really high highs and the really low lows. You don't see the in-between bits. But like, these motherfuckers are still in the office when no one's there. It's pitch black, they're there. The next morning they're in there and they're in the same suit. And like, you don't get to see that stuff. But just the way that these guys hold themselves, and like, it's like they're working on a chessboard. Like, just in the way they operate in business. And like, I get like a kick out of that. Mm-hmm. And like, just certain things that, like the way that they might approach certain situations, or the way that they might kind of bluff somebody into taking something when they don't have the thing that maybe they want to stray them away from, or like just the way that they approach. I feel like I learned, again.
There you go.
I learned a lot, like just in the way that just in the way that they operate. But yeah, you threw me by that question. I can't lie. Mm-hmm. But Suits and Wolf of Wall Street, I think they're two pretty solid ones. Maybe you guys drop a comment in there and see if you agree or if you don't, or drop some ones. I'll probably miss some as well, like some big ones that I'll be like, oh, I should have said that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, cool. Or shall I come in?
Come on then, Sham.
I feel like mine's more deep than yours.
Okay.
What's your biggest fear?
You asked me, you said this earlier when we were coming up with the idea for the pod. I actually thought of my answer straight away.
Oh, damn.
My biggest fear would probably be regret. I feel like I always say this. I'd never want to get to a stage in my life where I wish that I did those things. Where I wish that I took a jump. Instead, like, I'm living that life so that I don't get older and regret anything that I'm doing. Well, regret anything that I didn't do.
So like, basically, like 60-year-old H, your biggest fear would be 60-year-old H sitting and thinking,
I wouldn't want to look back and left that. I wouldn't want to look back when I'm 60, 70 years old and be like, oh shit, I wish I did that.
Yeah.
I wish that I tried to do that.
Yeah. I think that would kind of come into one of my things, like as one of my biggest fears as well. Mm-hmm. Because there's nothing you can do about it. It's like time has come and gone. It's such like it's nothing. Like, time is nothing. It's only whatever you make of it. Mm-hmm. And if you leave it and you look back and you're like, could have, should have, would have. Even there's things that I've done in the last week that I wish I could go back in a week and kind of just alter them slightly to have a different, do you know what I'm saying?
You think? Well, you'd rather go back to last week and, like, for instance, last week, and go and change things?
Well, there could be certain things
that's living in regret?
No, it's not regretful. Like, it doesn't hold, like, it's over me, like, oh, I can't believe, like. But if I could go back 3 months, 6 months, there'd still be some things that I would tweak. Do you know what I mean?
Everything,
but it's a process, isn't it?
The majority of all of the decisions you make, you thought was the right decision at the time that you made it. So you shouldn't beat up your previous self. Everything that you do, you thought was the right decision when you did it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done it.
Without going into too much context, the decision that I made in here, I didn't think was the right one. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Which led to me being having a lot of regret. Did I learn something from it? Yes. But if I could go back and undo it, I would. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not me living in like, oh, I can't believe it, and oh, am I going to do this and whatever. But if I could go back, I would alter that. And at the time, I didn't do it because I thought it was the best decision. I did it on instinct, and I was wrong. I acted on emotion, and I was wrong. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But your point's still like extremely valid, but I'm just trying to find another way. Because that's the first thing that I went, like, if I could go back, I would kind of alter some things. It's the first thing that popped into my head.
I don't think good or bad things that I've done from like animal instinct or anything. There's nothing that I'd go back and change. I don't think.
Saying this?
Nothing at all. Because it's like I've said to you so many times, man, like everything actually does happen for a reason. Like it's part of your plan, it's part of your journey. So every mistake that you've made, like it's just an opportunity to learn.
That's one thing I love about you. You always find the good in bad.
Thank you, Sean.
It's a really nice trait to have.
Stav said that to me the other day as well.
I had no idea.
Well, I said the other day, probably like 2 months ago. But
oh.
No, it stuck with me though. I was like, you really think so?
Yeah, you find the good in a lot of bad, bro. And that's like such a beautiful thing to have.
Thank you, man.
It's one of the things I love about you. One of the many.
Thank you, Sean.
Right, I'm ready for my next question. Come on.
What we got? Have you ever had a paradigm shift? If so, what moment was it, and what did you change?
Can you tell me what a paradigm shift is?
It's like a complete change in trajectory, like something that completely changed your life, and you changed the way that you live your life because of it.
What does it have to be like in an instant, or could it be a process?
Process.
I think there's a few things. The first two that come into my head are getting into a relationship and stepping away from the family business and coming into what we are doing now. That massively changed my whole life in a lot of different ways. In terms of work, I wake up and go to work, but I wake up and go to work in a different way.
I think, so what a paradigm, like the way that you live your life, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way that I live my life is
the way that
completely
you like
different.
move and think and everything.
Yeah, since me and you started our thing, I'm moving with a different level of authority in a conversation with somebody. I can feel the respect of others more so now as well, that we've been in it for a while, and they can see that we ain't just here to have a blip and to be two kids that are trying something. Like we're here, we're the real deal type thing. Do you know what I mean? And I move differently now, because even beforehand I had a team and I had a responsibility to the business and the family and whatever. It's a whole different level now. So I move and operate in a whole different manner, even down to the things that I put out on socials, bro. You don't catch me talking about sex on socials, bro, and acting a fool just for some clicks. Like, I'm posting shit that actually I mean and think and feel. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And I think that's a big part, like, of me that's changed over the last 2 years. And it's because of the jump that we made.
Thanks, bro. I actually spent like half an hour to an hour, like literally I went through my whole TikTok and deleted every single video.
I know. My girlfriend picked up on it and said, I've rate H for that. Deadass.
Actually?
Yeah, because she looked at mine and my pinned post was me talking about wanking with Big Reese. But that's, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that changed, because that was something that was like, it was the only kind of pop-in TikTok vid that I had on my page of the podcast, and I felt obliged to keep it there. And she was like, when people come across, like, to see your page, do you want them to have that as their first impression of you? Like,
that's the thing. It's... When I look back and I see videos of me when I was like 15, 16, even probably like 16 to 19, that's not
we're different
anymore.
People, bro.
Yeah. And it's, people say that, you're not supposed to change. Like, this is me and you should love me. Like, change is a very normal process that people should pride themselves in going through.
Especially if you're changing for the better. Well, changing for the better it's a perspective thing, because somebody that used to love you in the club and used to love you as a wingman,
I'm bored
is going to think, yeah, exactly, yeah. But to somebody who's your business partner, or to somebody that's your girlfriend, or to somebody that's your dad, you're the grown-ass man that you should be, the way you move and step.
I don't think I'm completely there. I don't think I'm the grown-ass man completely that I should be.
You know, I'm trying to get at, though. Do you know, that's I don't think we'll ever really get to a stage where we're like, yeah, I'm the optimal, because that's just not in us. Like, we always want more and want what's next. We like movement, we like growth, and whether that's with a business or just individually, like as people, we always want more and expect more. So Yeah, and I think that's a good thing as well. But yeah, and also to touch on going into a relationship, the way I used to move beforehand was very much thinking about like my dick. And the way that I operated was sometimes disrespectful, and I lacked honor. So yeah, that's another thing that massively changed. Does that answer your question?
It does.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go with... Okay. What's something that you're not involved in now that you will be, not might be, will be involved in 10 years from now?
The fitness industry.
Do you think that you're not involved in it, though?
Nah, I'm not involved in the fitness industry. I partake in what goes on in it. I'm not part of the fitness industry, though.
Okay.
I think I will be.
You want to elaborate?
I think in terms of content, I feel like something that I get a massive kick out of is inspiring people. And I just think with content and when I'm able to afford maybe someone like a videographer and shit like that, and like I can spend more on expanding like a personal brand.
I'd tell one of the boys to follow you for 3 weeks.
No, but like just in terms of building a personal brand around fitness, and then building a brand within fitness as well, in terms of like a physical brand, not a personal brand. So whether that be supplements, clothing, or
a product.
Something that is like something that would completely change the game. Whatever it is within the fitness industry, I feel like I'd be involved in it, because it's how I live my life. Like if I lost everything tomorrow, I'd probably still wake up and train. Like regardless, I've been through some of the hardest parts of my life, and I just trained.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So yeah, I thought you were going to answer that like in like a more deep manner, but you just...
I knew straight away. That's something that I know that I'll probably dabble into. I mean, there's other things that I could say, like property and shit like that, but
it doesn't have to so much just be about business, though. But then you really have to look deep and be like, damn.
Well, what else? Like
meditating, I don't know.
You meant something like that?
No. That's just the first thing that came to my head. But I think your answer's solid. It's something that you aren't involved in now, and in 10 years you will be.
I like to think so. Brother.
Come on,
right, let me hit you.
I didn't go with second, by the way. I thought I'd change up the vibe a bit.
What would you say is your greatest achievement?
Wow.
I feel like I know the answer to this. Again, I don't know what my answer would be as well. I feel like it would take a second.
Wait, you know what my answer would be?
I don't. I don't think I know. And I don't think I'd know my own either.
I want to go deep. My family was ripped apart over the last 3 years, pretty much. And my biggest achievement to date is stepping in and filling a void that was there for the people that needed me the most.
Wow.
I took a lot of responsibility as a 20, 21, 22-year-old kid, because that's what I am at the end of the day. And people looked to me in their darkest time for a solution, and somehow I found one when I didn't even know the answers myself. Just like the trust and the relationship that I built with specifically the females in my life. Yeah, I think that's my biggest achievement. And I was having a conversation yesterday with somebody at the house, and my mom said that my son taught me so much. I have a different approach to a lot of things because like what my son has taught me in the last 2 years.
Wow.
Like, I think that's one of my, if that is my biggest achievement. Sorry about that bit.
Nah, that's nice, man.
Yeah.
How'd that make you feel when your mum said that?
Huh?
How did that make you feel when your mum said
A bit
that?
well, it didn't make me feel much at the time, but it's making me feel a bit emotional now.
Oh, an hug. Said you want a hug?
No, I'm good. But yeah, man, it's deep, but I think that's my biggest achievement. Close second is running a future multi-million-pound company with my best friend as well. But yeah. Damn. You better get deep in your answers now, because What drives you the most?
I'm probably going to answer your question now in a manner that you won't like. Although there's obviously a driving force in terms of the success, being able to do things for my family, my sister, Well, my sisters, my family, my loved ones. Although that's a driving force, I wouldn't say that there's a reason that I get up every day and I have this punctuation for life. It's something that I built up from a very young age, was just my ability to be consistent with things. Like I've been training now for the past 10 years, for instance, and there's probably been less than a couple, like, I don't know, a month if I've been away on holiday when I was younger and I couldn't drive to the gym or I didn't go. It's like, I built up that consistency, and I always knew that I wanted great things from when I was a little kid. And I just get up and I just do. But now that I've said that, I think that a driving force is actually being a kid and being asked what I wanted to do when I was older, and then saying, my reply would literally be, I want to be a millionaire, from like 5 years old. Like my cousins used to ask me, not my cousin, I remember my cousin's girlfriend at the time asking me, what do you want to do when you're older? Because they were discussing about kids in Cyprus, like the difference between them and the kids in England, with to do with ambition. And I just blurted out, I was like, I want to be a millionaire. And she was like, oh, you'd never hear that in Cyprus. I remember that conversation. I don't know how old I was, probably like 7, 8 or something like that.
Dope.
But yeah.
Would you say that the thing that drives you most is the promise that you made to yourself, to that kid?
Maybe subconsciously. I don't really think of it though. Again, like I said,
you stay consistent. But as much as you say, I just get up and I just do it. Like, why do you stay consistent?
I don't really.
Why do you stick to a plan? Why do you?
You see, I couldn't really tell you like the spiritual answer to a question like this. But the real answer, the logical answer, which I have, is that
to win.
I don't know. The logical answer that I have is that I don't think about things the majority of the time. The majority of the time, especially when it comes to like me doing work, sometimes, yeah, my battery might be low and it might take me longer to get something done than it should have. I'd say probably the last 2 days I felt a little bit like that. I felt really tired yesterday. I don't know why. Yeah. But the majority of the time, I don't really allow myself to think. I kind of just do. And my mind just follows my body.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I think that's the best way for me to say it, man.
No, I hear you, bro. Your answer is your answer. Like, that is, if that's what drives you, well, regardless, you didn't really say what drove you really, but. Because
I wouldn't say that there's things in my subconscious, yeah, like, for instance, being a kid and like wanting great things, or trying to, get validation from my family or be able to provide from them? I don't know.
That's a big one, you know. That's deep. Validation from your family that you're like doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, of course. Like growing up, especially like with my dad, like didn't really have much growing up. Like he left school quite young. Like everything he did, sent me to private school. All of that was for me to be able to become like one of these professions, which was like sought after.
Yeah. Back
in the day, like a doctor or a dentist, like that's what he wanted me to be.
Surpass him, really, innit?
Yeah. Even though that probably wouldn't have been surpassing him.
Yeah.
I don't think anyways. I had never really had any interest in it. Yeah.
That's deeper though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's like whether these other things are there in terms of like validation from family, etc. I don't think about it. I wouldn't say that I do. It's I get so much fulfillment out of nothing. Like work, whatever it is, yeah. It could be the smallest task that I have to do, even if it's like, whatever. Building like a chest of drawers or something like that, yeah. If my sister's got one from IKEA, I could sit there for hours. Like if I don't know how to do it, like I'll figure out how to do it, just because it will frustrate me if I don't. I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Like if I lose something.
And you get fulfillment.
I have to find it. And I get fulfillment out of...
What about when you lose on FIFA and then you can't win against me? How does that make you feel?
That's why I keep wanting to go again. Because probably subconsciously, because I can't... I literally have to rinse and repeat until like I've basically done it.
I hear you.
And then it's like, what's next? But yeah, bring on to the next question, man.
I just want to share something with you. Yeah. So our boy Stab, he was on his way to London in the car, yeah. And he made a promise to himself that he wasn't going to take his pot of snus with him. He put our last episode on. 10 minutes in, I say H lip pillow. And then me and you were like, put it in and stuff like that. Do you know what he said?
Stopped.
Got a pot and put it in. He's like, yeah, I could hear you. I could feel it. I stopped and I got...
Are we bad or good
Steven,
influences to the world?
Do you want one?
No, I'm cool.
You don't want one?
No. I'm
right, Steven, I'll put 2 in for you then. I'm not going to put 2. Okay, what's your next question for me then, dog?
Would you undo any of your past actions? And whichever you answer, why? Your answer could just be no.
That's where my head went first, but I'm trying to be as real and as brutally honest as possible. And the short answer is no. Because I don't think there's anything that I've done drastically that I wish that I didn't do. The only thing I maybe would say was I wish I just started sooner in this kind of space that we're in. But then at the same time, would we still have the skill set that we do if we didn't go through the things that we went through leading up to?
Probably not, bro.
That's what so like, similar to like what you said last week, everything does happen for a reason. And is there little things that I would go back and change? Would I have not fucking invested that money when I was 14 into crypto? And like, do you know what I mean? Would I have not bought those NFTs that now are worth nothing? And like, yeah, of course. But these are all part and parcel of the game of business that we're in. Like, the word millionaire's got 2 L's in there for a reason. A couple L's. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I like that.
Yeah.
Where'd you see it? Where'd you see it?
Just came into my head now. You were talking about being a millionaire. And that's actually quite sick, isn't it?
Yeah.
The word millionaire's got a couple hours in there for a reason. You've got to be prepared to take them along the way to get in there. So, yeah, the short answer is no. The long answer is, of course, if I could go back, there'll be a lot of things that I would do differently that didn't work out in my favor. But I've also learned a lot of lessons from those same decisions. So, yeah, no, I don't think I would. Mm-hmm. What about you?
I'd go back and change anything.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's quite dope that we think that.
I think that most people should think that. It just depends on your outlook on life, though. Because there's probably some people that are in a bit of a rut, and they probably sit and they think to themselves, like, why do you, like an addict, for instance, that can't stop gambling. As soon as every time they gamble, they probably wish that they didn't.
Or wish they didn't the first time. I hear that.
Literally.
Do you ever see yourself retiring, or you work for your whole life? Again, we want straight up honesty. If you think by the time you're 50, bro, that you're just going to pack everything in on your millions and just chill out and do whatever you're going to do.
My answer right now is yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I will retire.
Yeah.
In terms of, I envision myself nice, peaceful life eventually with no noise, like out in the sticks, away from everybody. A couple dogs, I don't know, maybe some chickens and shit.
Chickens.
Eggs, fresh chicken meat, just slaughter them there and then for roast Sunday dinner. Like stuff like that, actually, like, I like that shit, man. It's nice. But
does that go hand in hand with retiring?
No. Yeah, I think so. But like, I'm just talking about a peaceful life away from the city, away from stress and all those type of things. But the reason that I don't think I will, like, I'll definitely take a step back, but the reason that I don't think I will is because, again, that work, fulfillment, I feel like I enjoy it. So I feel like I'll find something to keep me busy.
That's only something as well that in time you'll know whether it wears off or not.
I don't think that'll wear off.
So you won't retire then, is the answer.
Yeah, I like to think that I will. Because I like to think that I'll be able to spend like lots of time with family and like go travel the world and stuff like that. But whether that happens, I don't know.
But if you achieve the things that you want to achieve, you can still do that without retiring. I'm going to give you a scenario now. Because you said in 10 years that if you're not already in it, you'll be starting a product. 10 years from then, you'll be 43 and you might have scaled it to 10 mil. Who's to say that from 43 to 53, you don't want to scale it to 100 mil? Who's to say that from 53 to 63 to 73 to 83, you don't want to scale it to a bill.
Yeah.
Or
See,
to
that's
dip
the
into
thi-
another
that's the thing,
something
because
or a
I know
something.
because I know that I'll still be living that life then. Do you get what I'm saying?
What life?
In terms of a health/fitness orientated life.
So the answer is no. As much as that, your first answer was yes. Everything else that you've said has like come to like some sort of conclusion that I don't think you'll ever really be able to pack it in. That desire to like want more and to achieve and to grow and to move. You can still be peaceful.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can't take your fucking work calls from 9 till 12 and then the rest of your day is walking the dogs and slaughtering your chickens or whatever you want to do.
Sounds funny when you say about it. Right. What personal area in your life do you need to improve on?
We touched on this briefly last week when we were trying to find an improvement. And I said that I feel like we're ticking like all of the boxes that we think we should be ticking.
No, but like a personal improvement.
Yeah, but I take that personally.
Okay.
But one thing I would say is I feel like I'm very emotionally mature, but sometimes I let my emotions get the better of me. And like I dip in and out of mood swings. And that's something that I think...
I can second that. Fucking hell.
Fuck you.
I know it's a bad day sometimes when you come to the office.
Yeah. And I get it's part of the process and you're supposed to feel those things and you're supposed to just put a smile on your face and crack on. And sometimes it's good to maybe just embrace those things, but... Yeah, I feel like one thing that I would like to improve on myself would be not to dip into those mood swings as much as to try and stay away from them as much as I can. Feel what I'm feeling, but not necessarily take it out on the people closest to me.
Hormonal.
Fuck you, bro. But yeah, basically, that would probably be the main thing. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Mm.
Are you here to say goodbye or to check it? Or yeah, now's a good time. We can cut this bit.
I didn't want to interrupt.
Sorry, brother.
I'm gonna be here until like 10 o'clock on Monday. Yeah.
Have you got a snuzz in?
I see you.
Me? No, I got fat ass lips though.
Huh?
God bless you all.
Ciao.
Have a good minute.
Adios, amigo.
Jesus Filemo.
Yeah.
Is it Filemo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on in. Hit me.
Hit me. What is your biggest dream / goal? And I've got in brackets here, but be specific. Don't just say I want to be rich and like.
No, I wouldn't have said that.
Like,
It'd have to be like one specific.
if there's 3, hit me with all of them, bro. I want details though.
It's such a cliche answer because I feel like everybody says it, but to get to a place where I have true financial freedom, but to a place where personally myself, I arrive at this destination, I don't feel like I need to buy the clothes or the cars for a reason to let people know that I've done it, just to get the things that I genuinely like and enjoy. I feel like that's the answer, because money's the goal, yeah, and that's the access to freedom. But I cringe at it a little bit when people get to the stage in their life where like they get money, but they need everybody to know that they've like absolutely raked it. Like I quite enjoy like the humble life. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I still want like the nice cars and stuff like that, but I don't want to get one. I don't want to, for instance, get a Lambo because everybody else likes it. Like I'd rather get the one that I like.
Yeah.
Basically, I'd like to feel comfortable in myself.
Completely content.
Yeah.
With your decisions.
No. Yeah. Comfortable enough in myself that I can do whatever the fuck I want when I want, with freedom to do so.
I like that.
I've never really thought of it, to be honest with you, because I don't really look at life as an end goal. So I feel like it's a little bit of an invalid answer. Like I've never really looked back and been like, well, I've never really looked forward and looked at life as, oh, there's this big end goal that I'm working towards. Because that's the thing with like entrepreneurship. I don't really think there is when you're really locked in on the grind. It's like the end goal, the forever goal is just growth.
But there'll be a stage where you won't be forever locked in on the grind. As much as you will still grind and you'll still have something you're working towards, I don't think there's a time in your life where you'll work harder than these next 5 years after them.
You say that, but the physical labor, the actual what we're doing day to day will be more now. But I feel like we'll probably end up doing longer days in 5 years. It will just consist of easier tasks. Because really, that's what work is.
That's a nice way to put it. We'll be doing longer days that just consist of easier tasks.
Yeah, because most of the people that are like handling a big team, it just tends to be a day full of meetings, like chatting to people, signing off things.
Yeah.
Discussions.
Conversations.
You'd rather, more often than not, they're sitting in on things rather than actually doing the labor.
Yeah. I hear you. But when you said like on the entrepreneurship, on the entrepreneurship path and you're locked in on a grind, there will come a time where you won't be locked in on a grind like you are for these next 5 years. Like where the guys that are at the top now, like, yeah, they still work. But do you think Jeff Bezos worked harder in the first 5 years of Amazon than he does now?
I think he probably worked harder physically, but I bet you he's probably a busier man now.
Filled up with easier tasks.
Every event that he goes to, dinner and stuff like that, like it might not be labeled work, but even the things like that are still, like, it's still work, like it's still an image.
Okay, maybe Jeff Bezos is a far-fetched example though. What about your average millionaire that nobody even knows what they look like, that like created this amazing product, and in the process of creating it, then marketing it, then building the team and making it sustainable, and then creating another one. Like there's a stage where
unless they bring their company to a standstill and they like directly don't want to be involved in it, because more often than not, if the leader's not involved, from what I hear and I see, when the leader's not involved and the true vision's not there of where they want to take the company and that culture's not there, because at the end of the day, the founder is more often than not going to be the person that sets the culture.
But are you referring to the represent guys now though?
I'm just referring to everybody that I kind of can think of, people that I might personally know that are doing exceptionally well for themselves, or people that I might have heard on podcasts. And the rep guys are people that I've heard of, like, say things like that.
I'm just thinking about the rep guys though could step away from that quote unquote culture, and Represent will still be a £500 million company in the next 5 years, but they want to make it $1 billion, $2 billion, $5 billion. Hence why they're. It depends what your kind of desire. Do you know what I'm saying?
Listen. I hear what you're saying, but I think if you truly like have a desire to drive a business forward, you're not really going to see growth unless you're directly involved in it. You can sit back and relax and take a chill pill. That's no issue. But I can just think of people that might be friends of my dad's that are millionaires and doing really well for themselves, like 50, 60 years old. Like, I still know that they're balls deep in their business.
Yeah.
Like, probably working harder than they were a long time ago.
That's a choice though, right?
It's a choice. Yeah, of course it is. It just depends where you want to get to in life. Like, there's probably more like, there's going to be less fulfillment, more enjoyment in taking a step back at some stage, but there'll probably be more fulfillment, less enjoyment if you don't.
Well, this wasn't one of my questions, and I know you've still got one to bounce back at me, but you've just made me think about it. And it's pretty deep.
I did 5, didn't I?
No, I went. Oh no, you went first. Oh shit, yes. Oh, okay, so yeah, free flowing now.
Oh no, hit me.
Do you think there's ever a stage where like enough is enough? You've made enough money, you've affected enough people, like, and now it's time to kind of look at everything that you've done, 50-year-old H, and be like, you know what? It is now time for me to give the people that I care about, your kids that you have. We haven't even spoken about children in this podcast. Like, actually, you touched on it briefly, but like that house in the sticks away from the city and walking your dogs and kind of being in this kind of Zen mode of quietness doesn't happen if you're at the driving, you're the captain of the ship for this multi-billion-pound company. Like, when is that stage where it gets to, okay, I've done enough now. Now's time to kind of reap the rewards of my labor for the last 25 or 30 years. Really set the foundations for my children, or, do you know what I mean? Really kind of, maybe even if it's like fall back in love with my wife and travel the world the second time around as like grown people. Once our kids have kind of finished uni or what, they're into their lives of adulthood. Like, it's my time again to reap the, like, is there a stage where enough is enough? Or do you think you'll always be wanting more?
I like the idea of like investing in shit. So I don't know whether that's.
But wanting more financially doesn't always necessarily mean at a certain point that you have to.
Yeah, but investing in shit isn't as simple as like, oh, you've seen this startup and just throw money at it. Like, the majority of investors are still, as far as I'm aware, anyways, tend to be pretty involved in the businesses that they invest in. Yeah,
but you can be at the board meeting every month. It doesn't mean you're the driving foot. You're the captain of the ship.
Yeah, but I feel like what I hear about is like they use their resources to, whether it's like if they have access to marketing or like TV and things like they use their resources to help propel that business.
Yeah, when necessary. But you can use your resources to marketing at 50-year-olds from a yacht in Saint-Tropez. It doesn't mean you have to be at the HQ in the boardroom barking orders, like at the interns. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
no, packing orders is a bad example because it's like, literally, like I said, I'm quite glad that I said that. It's quite a nice thing to say. But like the labor's harder, but it's like longer days, but easier tasks. Like, it's true, and that's probably what it would be.
But you didn't really answer my question. Is there a stage where you think, though, that enough's enough and it's time for me to do some shit for me now?
I think so. Only because I'm like, being a billionaire is nice, yeah. Like, I want to make a whole lot of fucking bread and like I want to do a bunch of shit, but I don't think like being a billionaire is that necessary. Like, I know Tate said it before, but there's not really that much difference in what you can do from 100 M's to $1 billion. To be fair, there's not.
I know.
You can buy a yacht and that's about it. Like,
and as well, like
you could buy a plane worth 100 mil.
And if I become a billionaire, then it's like, fucking hell, there you go, son, beat that. At least if it's like 100 M's, it's like, go on then.
Yeah,
see what you got. I like this episode.
Yeah, it was decent. It's pretty deeper than normal.
Yeah, it was a bit deep. Well, we're going to do a grateful and better one. I feel like we did last week. We don't force it.
No. Fuck that.
Well, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on so you get notified every time we release a podcast. And we'll see you all next week.
Catch us later, guys. Make sure you fucking subscribe.
Peace.